Alright folks, how you doing? So, I've got to get used to this green screen here. So in this video I'm going to be going into the scene in Braveheart where Wallace rises and begins the rebellion and all that. You know, as with all things Braveheart, it's overly simplistic and it's horribly inaccurate from a historical point of view. I've been accused of being a Wallace fanboy and a Braveheart fanboy, which isn't totally untrue, but you have to be specific. You know, are you, when you call me a Braveheart fanboy, do you mean I'm a fan of the movie as a movie, or I'm a fan of the movie as historical narrative? Because yeah, I think it's a good movie, but as a historical representation, it's total garbage. So you have to be specific. You have to go into detail with me. You have to qualify what you mean. Am I a Wallace fanboy? I've been pretty critical of Wallace if you actually watch my videos about him, you know. I think he made some pretty horrible mistakes at times in his life. You know, I think he put his family in needless peril on more than one occasion. So, do I think he was a great hero overall? Yes, but do I think he's totally beyond reproach and can never be criticised? Absolutely not. Because I have criticised him, you know, so you got to be look, you know, when you put things out on the internet or on YouTube, there's going to be people who come along and have a swipe at you, but I'm generally a very kind of, you know, happy-go-lucky, who cares, water under the bridge kind of guy. I don't hold grudges in that way. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if it's inaccurate. You know, especially if it's inaccurate, because then they're going to show themselves up for what they really are. Just my opinion. But, you know, if anyone wants to accuse me of being a Wallace fanboy, well, you're entitled to those remarks, but, you know, just realise it doesn't really hold up to scrutiny, I would say. In fact, it says more about you. When you criticise other people, you're telling everyone else more about yourself than you are about them. So anyway, let's get into the scene. Alright, so I do like how well this is shot and edited. Very well done indeed. Very good acting as well, with like the body language and the looks and the expressions and things like this, but you know, the English are basically just cannon fodder. Let's face it, their armour does nothing, you know. And it seems to be a really small garrison, and also the buildings look very primitive as well. I mean, it reminds me of Skara Brae up in the Orkney Islands. I mean, it looks like the Scots are still in the Stone Age or the Bronze Age or something, which is kind of insulting, really. I mean, this is meant to be the late 13th century, for goodness sake. And their weapons seem to be mostly things that you would get off of animals, like antlers and things, or horns. Here's a guy in armour with a sword running away from a guy with a hammer with no armour on. I mean, it kind of stretches credibility a little bit. I mean, let's face it. Plus, the English have no tactics to speak of. It's just run at them with swords until they get hit. There's no cohesion or tactics or anything for the English. I mean, if you follow, you know, the chapters in the book I've been reading, William Wallace, Robin Hood Revealed, the English have very good tactics at times. And James Cosmo taking an arrow through the lung here, I'm sure he'll just walk it off like it's nothing, you know. I'm pretty sure that'd be a collapsed lung. And who knew that Wallace had parkour skills, you know. Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but you know, when you're climbing up buildings and stuff. Quite athletic. James Cosmo, man, he's always a win, isn't he? What was this guy doing that he got... What was he looking at? The Wallace just going to throw him off the building. Which is something I could see the real Wallace doing. Oh yeah, that arrow through the lung. Just a scratch. That's the wrong side of the axe, Hamish, but you know, we're only pretending to kill people because it's a movie, you know. I mean, some things you can kind of tell. But I like that he nuts the guy. You know, headbutts him. And the English garrison here seems to be incredibly small. You know. The real garrison at Lanark, upon which this is based, was 100 strong. No, like a dozen. But, you know, look at the primitive weapons the Scots have. I mean, it's really you know, over the top. Not like this guy's just like, screw this, you know. I'm not dying for this asshole. You alright, father? Yeah, no problem. I just got an arrow in my lung. I'll just walk it off. But I suppose it's just a Hollywood convention, you know. One side has to look so much weaker than the other one to play the underdogs, but it's total bullshit. But you know, whatever. Now the real events upon which this was based, 240 English soldiers died, and it was in the middle of the night as well. The Scots came in, you know, snuck over the walls, and Wallace burst into this guy Heselrigg's house in the middle of the night, kicked the door in, you know, and ran upstairs. And he didn't die this mercifully in real life. Wallace, you know, brought his sword down and cut down through his collarbone, and then threw him down the stairs. And the guy who was behind him stabbed him 3 times because he didn't realise somehow that he was already dead. But yeah, this actually happened in the middle of the night. It didn't happen in the Highlands either. It happened in Lanark. Totally different part of the country. But, you know, it's all for dramatic effect. I think this is up in Inverness or something like that. Up in the Highlands. And I never got this chant at the end here. It's like Macaulay, Macaulay and all this. And then it morphs into Wallace, 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 you know. Wallace was not a Highlands clan. They were Strathclyde Britons down in the southwest. So, but all of Scotland is in the Highlands according to Hollywood, you know. But these are the real guys apparently, the real Clan Wallace members according to the DVD commentary. Well, they're just having a ball, aren't they? It's a nice little day out for them. But yeah, that's my reaction. Thanks for watching.